one tank, one turret to Stork's, you know, 2 Dragoons that can't quite make it across. Although it looks like Stork has broken out because for some reason Forgg didn't have any reinforcements there. His reinforcements are still back at his natural expansion, and Forgg is establishing his second base right now at his natural, and Stork is establishing his second base at the kind of protected natural, the second natural I would call it natural 1A there in the upper right hand corner. So they're actually going to be equal on bases. I think Stork may have actually started his Nexus a little bit before Stork started his before Forgg started his command center, which would be a decent place for Stork to be in. But at the same time, the fact that Forgg was not able to maintain that contain on Stork's base is going to be trouble, because I feel like he really needed to maintain that contain. And actually, does Stork have 2 Nexuses going up? That's the question. If Stork has got 3 bases going down, compared to Forgg's 2, and Forgg still doesn't have any other pressure to follow up with, then Forgg is going to be in a lot of trouble, because okay, here comes the more harass here. A Zealot being dropped out to absorb the hit, and a Reaver. The Reaver takes a shot. The Reaver gets off a second Scarab. Oh, Stork is managing to actually kill 2 of those tanks there. Another Reaver Scarab going out, taking out an SCV. Second Scarab is going to be a dud. So I would say decent harass by Stork. A good harass, but nothing spectacular. Kills 2 tanks, kills 1 SCV, only loses, I believe, a Zealot in the process, though he did take a hit. Actually, he didn't take a hit on the Reaver. I guess he picked it up in time. It looked like that tank had hit that Reaver, but no, that Reaver is still at full health and full shields. They able to pick off that turret there behind Forgg's mineral lines as natural expansion, and they haven't showed it in a while, but I believe that Stork has established for himself his natural expansion in addition to his second natural in the upper right-hand corner. Yes, there is 2 bases, 2 expansions up and mining for Stork, compared to only 1 expansion up and mining for Forgg, and that mining expansion is being harassed by a Reaver. There is no sort of contain. He had the contain on Stork. He lost it. I think he kind of gave it up, essentially. Didn't reinforce. Decided he needed to pull his tanks back to his natural just to defend instead of trying to continue to contain, and now the situation has flipped entirely. And I have to say, I have not been super impressed with Forgg's play in this series. I don't feel he's really playing his A game, and you need your A+ game against Stork, no matter who you are, in my opinion, to beat him in PvT. You know, Jangbi is, of course, the current king of PvT. You know, that's pretty much the wisdom. But you know, but Stork's PvT is extremely good, and he was considered the best PvT for a while. And here comes a harass on the main of Forgg, and there's another Reaver Scarab coming, another tank killing a ton of SCVs, about 5 SCVs dying there, another SCV and a tank down, 14 kills, 15 kills on that Reaver, 15 kill Reaver, and Forgg's just losing to a Reaver in a shuttle again. Didn't have enough tanks there. I guess he had 2 tanks there, but didn't have enough turrets to fend off the shuttle, and wow, this is just 17 kill Reaver, 18 kill Reaver. Reaver is badly damaging down, so has to retreat, but that's game. I mean, Stork already had a slight economic advantage, and now he's just sealed that advantage. He's capped that advantage by keeping the tank count low and by killing more SCVs and denying more mining, and Forgg, you just can't come back now. If there is one reason that I really hate this map more than any others, it's that if there is one map you really can't come back on, it's Destination. In Destination, once you have the kind of lead that Stork has, forget about it. That's pretty much true for most Pro StarCraft, for most matchups, but in this map in particular, it's not just unlikely, it's virtually impossible. Because of the structure of this map, and because of the difficulty in moving out and accomplishing any sort of attack, it's very difficult to be offensive on this map. It's a very defensive map, and yeah, here comes more harass from Stork. Scarab kills about 2 more Pro SCVs rather, about 2 more SCVs going down. That shuttle's still hanging around there, and yeah, here we're going to see Forgg trying to push out across these bridges, trying to do the damage he knows he needs to do. He knows he is way behind, but look at this number of forces from Stork. Stork has not even got his full macro going, by the way. This is just what he's managed to keep alive. little off like his, his 4 gateways or so. And here comes the fight. Forgg actually managed to establish himself on those bridges, so a little bit lax there in Stork. He needed to have his troops in place before those tanks got on those bridges, although he's going to do some zealot bombs here, it looks like. And he's unsieging those. Oh, great mind drag. That was either 3 or 4 tanks going down there to 1 measly zealot. And another tank going down, and just great play by Stork. Just a straight zealot drops there on all those grouped up tanks with a couple of mines just in the wrong place. Forgg was actually doing a good job getting those tanks unsieged, knowing what was happening, but those mines there, he could not move those mines, and he could not move those tanks out of the way in time. So, yeah, Stork has captured the advantage, and it's just going to be a matter of time now. Another great game by Stork. Another game by Forgg, but here comes Stork now with 2 groups of units trying to clear out these mines that separate his 2 forces, trying to meet there on the Forgg side of the bridges, and once again establish himself on the offensive side of those bridges. And once he has done that, then Forgg might as well a good game. Might as well GG. And it looks like Forgg is doing a really good job of keeping Stork from establishing that position clearly, but even if he does stop that, it's just too late. And here comes more. Oh, the Hero Reaver finally goes down. Hero Reaver finally goes down. Not able to get a Scarab off. And here comes, yeah, there's no way that Stork has enough to break that. That was probably a little foolish there by Stork, trying to rush in there with only Dragoons against that well-entrenched tank line from Forgg. So he's just going to pull back and probably just try and take out this any forces that Forgg might have left by Stork's side of the map, and just go ahead and get his third expansion, his 4th base, down there at the 230 position, and that looks like he's probably going to be able to do. He's trying to break in again. Here comes more zealot bombs. Those are great zealot bombs, dropping 4 zealots, all those clumped up tanks, and those zealots are just wreaking havoc among Forgg's tanks, just breaking out of this mini containment that Forgg had set up. Really just great bulldog style of play by Stork. Just gateway level units in a shuttle, just doing all the damage that needs to be done here. Even though the Hero Reaver has gone down, Stork now does have speed lots, and that's really all he needs. The speed lots in a shuttle just tearing up those tanks. And Stork still trying to establish himself. I don't think he's put down his 4th nexus yet, although I think I just saw it go down. I think I just saw the blob go down at the 230 position. So this is going to be 4 bases on 2 very soon. And yeah, this is what I meant about it being impossible to come back, because it's really hard to take more bases. You just can't expand very easily on this map if you don't have map control. And Forgg is actually fighting really hard for this map control. It actually has managed to sneak more vultures and tanks up here along the eastern side of the base, and is going to be assaulting Stork's new nexus here. And if Stork is not careful, that nexus could go down. And if there is any way that Stork can get back in this game, it's by killing this nexus. Let's see if he's able to do so here. Here comes the shuttle. I'm sure more zealots loaded up, but there's a lot of vultures there. I don't know if Stork's going to do this. Stork needs to defend this nexus, I believe, to really make sure he's going to lead in this game. There's a lot of mines that are protecting Forgg's forces up on that hill. And Forgg's managed to break through the pylon wall there, and has now sent about 8 vultures down into the secondary expansion. But here comes Stork's main force, and Stork has got plenty of Dragoons here in his main to fight off these vultures, and Forgg